morning. Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing this morning? Yeah, we are here. We are back. You should have everything straight up there. Oh, cups over here with us. Anyway, yeah, man, we back this morning. We just came up to. I just wanted to do a show. I wanted to do a show in the morning before I begin my day with working. I just want to let you guys know something real important. Oh man, it's called. Let me get the title right here because it's called "Don't Lose Sight." You don't ever want to lose sight. Losing sight, losing focus is how you lose yourself and you lose value. So don't lose sight. All right. Not losing sight has to do with how you begin your day, how you focus, how you think, how your mind activates. You know, see, when you get up in the morning, you should drink something like warm water or some good tea, something to ease all the stuff like the gas yesterday, all of the things that slow you down and give you, those paralyzing moments in the morning. See, the thing is, you have to get up and work out, get yourself moving, get your body moving, stretch, you know, and just organize yourself good for the day. Let me get MJ in here. MJ in here. What's going on with me? All right. This morning on purpose, I don't have, there are no barriers, there's no nothing. It's just me, my beautiful audience, and the mindset to have a great, powerful day. So, uh, I had to get to the bottom of the stack to get to the book I want. But I want to read something for you guys today. I want you to get your day started off good. So I had to read something for you because I need to let you know something about yourself. All right. So don't lose sight. You know that's the name. That's the theme of the show. That's what we try to focus on, not losing sight. But check it out. This is when a person has lost sight. When a man's stupidity behaves in ways they are destructive to the family and the nation, to the well-being of both woman exercises her feminine prerogative and he submits to the higher idea she represents. They both respond to ideas of their culture and their groups within the reality which they exist, and they call each other and check each other in terms of these things. Therefore, it is not a personal man riding a woman or a woman riding a man, but a calling into focus, consciousness, a higher thing that you or I, a thing which we both have consensus about. This can only happen when both fairly share clearly existing cultural ideas and relationships are tried by such ideas. This means both men and women should be trained culturally and trained for their goals. That's why I want to read you something out of this book. Just look at this book. The Issues of Manhood in Black and White. An incisive look into masculinity and the social definition of, we'll just say, the black man, because we've already acknowledged that all melanated people aren't African, even though we do have quite love and affinity for each other, which we should, but we still have to know how to behave with each other. But that's even between black, white, any men. See, there's a lot of things that white people have put out here too. You have to look at these ideas that break us apart every day as a nation because of what people have extolled upon themselves and other people. So, I'm going to read you another parable. Well, I'm going to read you a description out of this book. We're going to read Creating differences in law. This is birth of white nation. Creating differences in law. The degree of similarity in treatment between those of black descent and those or African descent and those who have become white prior to 1680 in Virginia, Maryland, and upon to 1800s in other areas, as well as established in E. Morgan, 1975, Parents, 2003, J.P. Morgan, 1998, Roe, 1989. There is also evidence of different treatment in those areas where treatment was not similar to the clues might be found to help explain the emergence of the human category wide. Evidence and different treatments in reviewing here because of the overshadows and evidence that Europeans and Africans engage in relationships of trust, mutuality. It does not. Rather, it is important in order to make it visible the process that eventually rises to social and league changes, ecology, dramatically alters the relationship of mutuality, cooperation, and trust between persons of African and European ancestry. See, the problem is, in this nation, the focus has always been for the Aboriginal or the black man in America to lose sight. Lose sight of your mind, lose sight of your ideological thought, lose sight of who you think you are. And guess who else gets the same thing done to them? The same person, and that's the same person or persons that's doing it to the other people. See, the problem with the mindset of the European or the Caucasian mind, it thinks it just does things one way. It doesn't understand there's an exchange. They still don't believe that. They still think you can just point and tell people and treat people any kind of way and tell people how to do what to do when you want them to do it. The world doesn't work that way. It will never work that way. Nobody's going to allow you to poke them in the eye and they're not going to poke you back. You're not going to sling your shit in your mud and it ain't coming back to you. So you have to be careful about losing focus. The thing is, this is don't lose sight, don't lose focus, don't lose sight, don't lose yourself. But when you do that, when you lose sight and you lose self, what you want to do? You want to tear every damn thing down with you. You want to tear some shit up because you ain't getting your way. That's like a spoiled, badass child that's never going to get their way because their parents put their foot down. So it's time to get in alignment then, because you're not going to get your way anymore. That's not how the way works. That's not that way the world works. It's never worked that way, even in your eyes and when you was in charge, and how you still running around here acting the way you act. The problem is people do not want to be accountable, which is why I read books and give you book studies, because there is an accountability factor to everything in life that people don't want to adhere to. Just the problem, even with the affairs of West Africa. When I read you some of the inscriptions out of this book, which I will be reading later today, I will be doing another show. But I wanted to put you on to some game, and I wanted to put you guys onto this show before I begin my duties and my quest for the day. I have to have days full of accomplishment, and if I don't have accomplishment, I have to go the next day or get to the next day and make sure I get something accomplished. I like to be a progressively moving person, ideology when it comes to my work and the things and the duties that I do. So, let me read you another inscription about the admissions and the problems with the industry of Southern Nigeria. See, the problem is these people didn't produce. They can say what they want. There was a big difference between the Americans and the ideology of the Africans. There were plenty American Indians that were shipped to the islands, to West Africa, to Europe, to all over the world because of the ability and the thought process and the way we thought, the way we did things, the way we did every damn thing. So it was a mindset. So if I tell you about the Hausa people, the languages appear to belong to a Hermetic group, also containing numerous Hermetic idioms, and also a large number of words borrowed from Arabic. Now this is the Hausa people and their emporium. Africa was connected in a lot of ways, and it was extremely. I think the landmass, the size of the landmass, had to do with a lot of the production not being as thorough as it could have been. And again, its mentality and proximity to Europeans. Europeans were takers, and so was Africa. Africa was colonizers too. And a lot of people do not want to admit this. The reason why me and Dr. A.E. stopped having shows together is because blacks don't like to admit when black people do not like to admit when blacks are wrong. You don't like to admit when you made decisions that weren't good, when you signed treaties against people that look like you and you stood on it. You know how we know? Because those behaviors still exist today. I told you we would never not talk about the shit that other people do or that all people do, because that'll make us lose sight. You want us to lose sight of who we are, lose sight of our heritage, lose sight of our culture, lose sight of everything just to be inclusive? Nah. That's why delineation had to happen. That's why delineation from foundation of Black American Indians, the people that are aboriginal to the Americas, we have to separate ourselves to some degree. There has to be some differentiation because you got too many people pretending to be something that they are not, wanting to be something they are not, and not even giving credit to the people that they idolize or got all of that love for. But you don't express it, you show it, but then you'll deny it. You pretend, you behave, and you act as if you like people that you say you like, but you really love them, but you really hate them, but you really want to be them. If you don't lose sight of yourself, you don't have to worry about that problem. It's okay with understanding particular points in time with your people. It's okay with understanding everybody wasn't great. See, the problem is you can't. You have to be a black person to tell another black person. All us ain't good. All our family members wasn't good. Uh, everybody in our family, we got some great heroes, but then we got some awful bastards that um, really stuck it to us. You know, I'm gonna read you some of those stories. I'm gonna read you some of those stories, even from my own background. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but also the same way a lot of white Europeans got to get that smoke for the shit they folks do, still do, and do. You got to get it too. Yeah, you ain't free. Asians are not exempt. Whites not exempt. Blacks are not exempt. No one's exempt. Everybody. There's a reason why you have in all racial groups self-hatred. It's the reason why you have in all racial groups a dislike for themselves. It's a reason because it's always going to be a balance. There's always going to be a balance between all racial categories because one thing about racial categories, they're constructed, they're not real. So of course you're going to have people that are black that act black. You got people have that look white, but they ain't never associated with white people. See, America is extremely different place from what a lot of people are used to, and you come here believing the propaganda, not being properly educated, not knowing the real pecking order, and also thinking that black people that's in the Americas are not intelligent. We are the most intelligent. Why do you think they don't like us so much? Jeez. So this show is about do not lose sight. Don't lose sight of your progress. Don't lose sight of your process. There's a process to get to where you are. You got to use the process to go where you're going. Don't lose sight of that. But there's one thing you got to understand in this world that the whole world tries to do. This is Tartaria. Everything in this thing try to break you. Everything. You have plants that can harm you and kill you if you don't have the intelligence, if you don't have the education, you don't have the know-how to deal with plants, animals. The way we have constructed this world, everything is dangerous. Everything is meant to hurt. But you got to be smart enough to avoid. Stay out of the way. Don't lose sight of your path. See, a lot of times things happen to people because they lose focus, they lose sight. They get so far drifted off to that path. And you see it happen. You can see it happen in front of your eyes. And You know, a lot of people, hey, brother, you doing all right? You know, well, hey, sister, you know, hey, what's going on, my friend? You need a hand? Can I make sure you're okay? That's what's missing in the world. People too busy focused on this, not even understanding or identifying who can actually help your ass. See, you're too caught up in color. You're too caught up in this and that. You'll tell me I'm like that. No, I'm just a person that makes you understand what this shit really is about. That's all. You have to be with like-minded people. You have to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. I didn't say negative. That's not a mindset. That's a sentence. All things negative is not a mindset. It's a sentence. It's a sentence to hell in your brain. That's where it's a sentence to. But when you have a mindset, that's all positive attributes. Things that are good. Things that you look forward to. Whether it be an accomplishment, a nice date with your loved one, seeing someone that you haven't seen in a long time, being appreciative of this other company of other people, and genuinely feeling so. Because those type of things will help you keep a positive mindset so that you cannot lose sight. You understand? So keeping positive energy around you, having good conversations, you know, elevating yourself and being around people that are a little smarter, a little more intrinsic, a little deeper than you. And you'll change your ways too because you'll have something to look forward to. You'll have something to, damn, I like that. You'll have something to like, something to admire, something to enjoy, and something to look forward to so that you don't lose sight. That's what's important. Always maintaining focus, not losing sight. Let's get into one more book for you guys before we get up out of here because I got work to do. I have work to do. Every image, oh, I'm sorry, it's over here. What people like to hide is everything that's associated with melanin at one point was greatness. Everything in the world that was associated with greatness was associated with melanin. That somehow just had to be changed in order for somebody to have a what? A revisionist revolution of a different kind of people. But when you do the math and when you're extremely educated on historical historical triumphs, what actually happened in the past, there's never been a new world. It was a recasting of a different world. Tartaria is still here. Everything that we invented is still here. Everything that we invented, you still use every day, all day. And let's talk about it because we can get into it, but we're gonna just discuss what's on the front. Look here on the front. Anything from woodworking, government, archaeology, zoology, biology, clothing, school, music, flair, uh, geology, socialism, farming, knowledge. I shouldn't have said that one, socialism, because that'll get some people panties in a bunch. But it's true. Drums, uh, certain different particular types of animals, economics. So everything that has ever been done or invented or used as a tool, you can attribute that to black people. You can't contribute that to anybody else but blacks because they're the people that have been on the planet the longest running relationships that have been ruined, destroyed, annihilated, or the records have been shoveled aside. But you know what? The world is so deep and dark and full of melanated people that the deeper you dig, the darker it will get. And that's just the truth. Even when we're talking about the hidden cities. Hidden cities. And we got multiple books about the Americas. Check this one out. The first Americans were Africans. That's David Imhotep. I don't agree with his phrasing, but hey, I could be wrong. But from my research says we was Aboriginal here, but hey, I guess this saying the same thing. Just can't get caught up in so many other words. But the evidence, it all shows, and this book is full of it. Full of evidence. Check this out. The third example of the Yuchi tribe from the Gulf Coast of Alabama. That's where my people from, the Gulf Coast of Alabama. and Pensacola, Florida, Mississippi, that whole area. So check this out. Gulf Coast Valley, yet they claim that their original homeland lay far across the sea. In a fourth example, Proto-American evidence indicated that they originated in and crossing the Atlantic Ocean. The brilliant anthropologist named Alan H. Kelso de Montague wrote an article, the International Anthropological Review in 2010, of the title of the articles, did a gigantic meteorite or asteroid fall into the Caribbean and create a lesser Antilles 6,000 years ago? He arrived at his dating theory after collecting native traditions in the region. Was this the Great Deluge the elders told him about? The impact may be connected to the creation of Carolina bays, and other impact sites are noted in the Utomook. Mook earned an engineering degree from Munich College in Advanced Technology. His parents, he held patents from around what it said. He held patents from around 2,000 inventions in the time he died in 1956. Because of the evidence, he believed that the story of the Atlantis location on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and that it was destroyed by an asteroidal impact in the Caribbean. He calculated the disaster occurred around 8,498 BC. Okay, so there you have it with that. That explains a lot. With circumstantial evidence from the old stories and the natives from the Caribbean, Central America, and South America have kept for centuries, there must be something to the historical stories in the old moon broke. Coupled by the physical evidence by the moon breaking, they meant an extraterrestrial object, a comet fragmented perhaps, fell into the ocean, causing mass destruction. It was on a scale of a typical expressed by the various myths and legends preserved by the indigenous people of the Caribbean. After moving from Africa to the Caribbean, Alabama, and then Florida, some descendants of Yorkie people still live in California. Today, 1916, Lucy Thomas, a.k.a. Chinawacheyaha, Kalamath River, Warwick woman, seen in these figures. This is her, American Indian. Got a little like her on it. My grandmama. Southeast Indian, Powhatan. Cherokee Nation Indian. That's my grandmother. Before introducing the lady to the book, does not give a description of her. There is, however, a photograph of her on the cover of the book that seems above. She is a darker complected person wearing beautiful amaret skirt and top. Her hair is worn to the bushy ponytails. She does not have a long, thin nose, but a slight, wide, flat nose, and proto-Natic, non-European looking. Her lips are between full and thin. Like mine? Yeah. Her lips are between full and thin. Covering her head is a bonnet. Surprisingly, she is not wearing feathers. Instead, she is wearing a typical African skull cap. This is one of the most interesting and surprising items that she wears. This is not an anomaly. One of Dr. Motep's favorite book in the cycle of cosmic catastrophes by a nuclear physicist who had been part of the isotopes projects in Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. He is joined by the owner and CEO of the International Scientific Consulting Company, Field Exploration and Mining Geologist in Australia. See, the thing is, even with these books, you have to read between the lines. Dr. Imhotep is a very respected, Dr. David, very respected PhD. But in some instances, if you read between the lines, it's like him, Dr. Clive Winters, they all try to tie, which is not a problem, but they really try to tie Africa to the Americas. And they miss one thing. They miss this one misnomer. They had relationships before European conquest. The world just didn't start communicating, become globally connected. It's been that way. Don't lose sight, guys. I tell you, do not lose sight, because if you lose sight, someone's always trying to But check it out. We'll be back today. We got more. We got more books. We got a lot more to share. We got a lot more to talk about. But we will see you later on today. I got to get to work, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you, love you, and thank you for tuning into the Wilderness Podcast. You know we love you. You know we're going to be back. You know we're going to be cooking for it today. So anyway, let's go. I'll holler at you guys. Remember, the wheel is yours. Be cool, stay easy, and I'll be back with some more good stuff.